Everyone, today we are going to solve a very common real-world problem using Python. Suppose you receive multiple Excel files every month. Maybe there are sales reports from different branches, employee attendance sheets, customer transactions, invoices, or monthly MIS reports. And now your task is to combine all those files into one master report. So let's get started. Let's open the folder where we have all the raw files. So let me open one file and show you how it looks. So we have the data like this, and we have same format in all the files, and these files you can consider these files as monthly reports. So one file for each month or weekly report, whatever you receive the data. So I have named it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for now, just to show you the process, we are using 6 files, and there may be 100 or 200 or 500 files depending upon your requirements. So let's open VS Code, and we need to open folder here, or we can simply choose right click here and choose open with code. This folder has been opened, and now we will create a main.py. You can use any name you want, but we are using only one file, so we can name it as main.py. So before starting, there are few methods which we can use to combine files. The first method is using Pandas library, the most simple process and most efficient process using Pandas library. It doesn't need Excel installed in your system. It's a standalone library which you need to install, and it will combine those files pretty quickly. And second library, we have OpenExcel, OpenPyExcel, Excel Wings, and PyWin32. Each library has its own pros and cons. So today we are gonna combine these files using Pandas library, and if you need, you can mention in comments and I'll show you the other methods as well. So if you want to preserve formatting, work with formulas, or interact directly with Microsoft Excel, you can use PyWin32 or Excel Wings. So in this example, we are not going to use Excel, so we are using Pandas library. So let's import this library. First, like our previous video, we will first import the OS to access files and folders, and then the second library is Pandas. Import Pandas as PD. So you may not have this Pandas library installed in your system. So you go to terminal, use a new terminal, and then type the command pip install pandas and hit enter. So if the pandas is not installed in your system, it will get installed. So now we need to provide the folder path where we have all the files saved. We will open the folder, copy the path, and paste it here. So this will become our folder path where we have all the Excel files, and now we need to use a empty list master data. So this is how we create a list using a square bracket. So we will create an empty list where we will have our master data, and now we will run the loop for each file inside the folder we have chosen. So for file name, in os.listdir. So what this listdir does, it will list all the files which are available in this folder, which will be provide here. So we will provide this folder path. So inside this folder path, it will list all the files we have. And now our second condition is we all only need to access our Excel files, not any other file, because we have this main.py as well in this folder. So so we will skip these py or any other file. We will just use xlsx files. So we will check if our current file is a xlsx file. So if file name ends with .xlsx, then file path will become our os.path.join. We need to join that folder path and the file name. So this file path will contain the entire file path including file name. So this path and the file it contains. So in each iteration it will use the file name and the path. So file path become the complete file path. Then we will create a data frame. So if you have not worked with data frame, you can simply write tf equals to pd dot read excel. So what this command do, this command will read the excel file without opening the excel file in Microsoft Excel. So in read excel we will know, we need to provide the excel path or file path, and then we will add a column here, source file, and then file name. We have added this column here just to know from which file this data is coming. So it will create another column which will have the file name as well. So we have created another column D which will name as source file, and this column will have the file name. Now master data dot append df. So master data is our list, and in this list we are appending this data frame. So it's almost done. It will run this loop for each file we have in folder, and file should be xlsx file. So it will combine the entire path, then it will create a data frame, it will read the contents from that file and then add a column and then append the data to existing master data. So it will keep appending the data to this variable. So once this loop ends, we will have our entire data in our master data variable. So we can use master tf. Now with this master data variable, we will create a data frame pd.concat. This command will combine all the data which we have in master data to a data frame. So master data and ignore index. So we don't want to use index number like 0, 1, 2, 3. We don't need that index. So it will ignore the index and combine all the master data and convert that master data to a master data frame. And now we just need to save this master data frame to a file, to Excel, and we need to give the output file name here and index equals to file, so that we don't get 0, 1, 2, 3 columns in the Excel file. And this output file, we have not provided any output path, so we will again provide an output path. Output file equals to our folder path, or you can use any other path which you want, and we can combine this folder path with an output folder, and we will be joining these paths os.path.join, and that is it. So one condition here, this output folder may not be available in this folder path, so we can use another command to create the folder if the folder doesn't exist, and if the folder exists it will skip this part and will continue to save the file. So we will use the command before output file path. So the command is os.makeDirs and the folder name which is output, and if the folder already exists it will ignore exist OK equals to true. So now if the output folder is not available it will create the folder, and if exist it will skip this line. Then output file is our folder path where we have the files, and then it will inside that path it will create output folder. So that is it. So once we run this program it will create a master file, and now we can also print our final message. All files are combined successfully. So let's run it and see the outputs. And before running it, you can also print the status. Print currently working on file name. So let's run it now. So when you run it, we are getting no engine for file type. Okay, so we made a mistake here. When we give the output file name, we need to, because we are saving it to an Excel file, we need to provide the extension as well. So output file should be folder path, output folder, and we have not provided any file name. So we can provide the file name master file.xlsx. Now the entire path would be our this folder path, then output folder, and inside that output folder, we'll get this master file.xlsx. So now let's clear this error and run it again. So all files are combined successfully. Let's go back to the folder and check if the file is available. Yes, output file folder has been created, and inside output folder we have this master file. So if you see, we have got all the columns from the raw files, and we have also got the source file column. So if I put a filter on this, you can see we have got the file names as well. So you can see which data we have received from which file. So this is how we combine the Excel files using Pandas library. So one thing you have noticed, this in this file we have not get any formatting. So to get the formatting, we need to use any other library. So this is what I have explained initially, that we have multiple ways to combine the files, and it is it depends on a requirement which method we need to use. If you want to learn any other method, just let me know in comments. If you found this useful, consider subscribing, because this channel focuses on practical, live, real-world Python automation projects. We'll cover Python, Excel, AI tools, productivity systems, and techniques that genuinely save times. And let me know in the comments what's the most repetitive task in Excel you do every month. Maybe we'll automate that in our next video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next live project. Thank you. Bye.